Hello everyone, Pathulhu here, and today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm just experimenting with my content a little bit, so over the next couple of weeks you're going to see some weird shit. You're going to see some very stuff that I haven't done before, stuff that I'm trying out, so let me know if you want more of these videos, because I'm happy to do them. But as you can see, this is a tier list, and it is a Dark Souls 1 boss tier list. And I've watched tier lists before on YouTube, and I gotta say, there are a lot of ones I don't sort of necessarily agree with. So I thought, I'm gonna put in my own tier list, and we'll see how I compare with everyone else who watches this, because I'm sure there's something different. But I'm not gonna be ranking them just on difficulty. I'm gonna be ranking them on how fun they are, how the arena. All sorts of stuff, basically, how much I'm looking forward to doing the boss, fighting the boss. It's not just on, oh, is it easy or not? It's a whole bunch of factors. So, I guess, let's get onto it. Fucking, what else do I have to say? Anyway, so I'm probably going to start from the beginning. I probably should have checked if all the bosses were here, but I'm pretty sure all the bosses are here. Like I look at it and I go like, wow, it's missing a few bosses, but I don't think it is, because I've recently, obviously Elden Ring came out, and Elden Ring has something like over 100 bosses, I think. I mean, a lot of them are repeats, but like, it just makes me think like how little amount of bosses this game has compared to Elden Ring. So like, that's why it's sort of shocking to see like, oh, you can fit them all in 3 rows. But we're going to go from the beginning. So obviously we have, we're going to start off with Asylum Demon. And I mean, what can you say about Asylum Demon? He's the first boss. The first time you encounter him, you probably can't beat him because you've got a broken sword. So initially, he seems very impossible. Then, you realize you have to go off the side and, walk around for a bit longer so you get your flasks, and then you eventually get your good weapon, and then you realize he goes down like a sack of shit. So the boss isn't particularly frustrating. I'm sure for new players it's pretty frustrating. Like I actually have the videos on my channel of my girlfriend playing Dark Souls for the first time, and I'm pretty sure she went down a couple of times to him. But I mean I've been playing Dark Souls since 2016, so I'm not a seasoned veteran, but I've been around the block a few times. So, I mean, the Asylum Demon's got a pretty fat ass, so it's pretty attractive. Is it a he or a she? I don't really know the lore behind the Asylum Demon, because I'd be gay for the Asylum Demon. But I mean, I guess we'll put it in the I don't know. We'll put it in B, I guess, because it's I don't know if I'd call it iconic. But, it's, as far as tutorial bosses go, I mean, the Asylum Demon is the one I remember the most. And then, and even, like, I've seen some videos on YouTube of, especially, I think it's Zully the Witch. If you don't know her, you should go check her channel out, because she does a lot of videos on, like, hidden stuff in Elden Ring, and lore stuff as well. I mean, they're very short videos, but they're very informative at the same time, so go check her out. But the what do you call it, the Erdtree avatars, whatever they're called, the big branch fellas, they're basically rehashes of these guys. And I think they were initially going to be like, one of them was going to be the first boss of Elden Ring, so it's going back to Dark Souls, to that sort of thing. But then they changed it to the Grafted Scion, which was a lot more scary, honestly. No, you're not supposed to beat that boss. But yeah, I'd probably put it in a B, because I mean it's not particularly fun to fight, but it's iconic. Yeah, I'll say it. It's an iconic boss fight to me. Who's next? So I guess the Taurus Demon would be up next. I'm sorry my webcam is covering half this thing, but there's not really any other place I can put it. Ah, that's the screen. Okay, you know what? I'll put it over here, because I don't think we're not gonna cover this whole fucking thing. God, no. Alright. So what's next? The Taurus Demon. Where the hell is he? I wish they put it in order of when you find them. But I'm just going to talk about the Taurus Demon then. So Taurus Demon, Taurus Demon's always been a frustrating fight. It's not a very hard fight, but it's just frustrating in the fact that you're fighting him on a narrow like plane, like you're on a wall high up, and you can also get knocked off the wall, which isn't fun. Although I'm thinking back, I don't think I've ever been knocked off the wall whilst fighting him. There he is. And I mean, you can easily cheese the boss fight as well. Like you can plunge attack him to death over and over again. But also enjoy the fact that if you take too long to plunge attack him, he will jump up onto the top and fight you there. And I mean, and I guess the narrow corridor is sort of moot because you can fight him on the top, which, you know, it's a lot more. There's a lot more space up there to maneuver. But I've always felt that the Taurus Demon, you can't really roll away or like roll through his attacks because they seem to, like, the hitbox seems to linger for a bit longer than most other attacks. I don't know why, but yeah, I'd probably give him a C. He's average. There's nothing particularly special about him. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Plus, the fact that you fight about like 50 of them once you get to Lost Izalith, so the charm sort of wears off. But I guess it is sort of a, you know, like a test of power. It's like, oh, you know, you're so powerful now that the Taurus Demon has just been demoted to a regular enemy. So I guess that's kind of cool. Who's next? So I guess the Bell Gargoyle would be next because you go fight Taurus Demon, then you're going up to the tower. So the Bell Gargoyle, it's a pretty enjoyable fight, I think. I certainly think it can be hard, because I know a lot of people do like to summon for it. I mean, you got that nice Solaire summon. I think you might be even able to summon Lautrec, if I can recall correctly. Maybe not, but they are nice. They give you a helmet. You can chop off the tail, and they give you the halberd or an axe. I don't think they're particularly good weapons, but I think early on they're not too bad. Yeah, it is sort of a test of speed as well, I think. So I'm not sure if the second gargoyle comes down on a timer, or if it's, you know, it comes down depending on, you know, how much damage the first one has taken. I'm not sure. But, and I mean, duo boss fights are always kind of hard, but I feel like this one's not quite as hard because the second gargoyle tends to just breathe fire on you, and it's not super easy. It's not super hard to, like, dodge it either. But to me, I think this is like one of the true roadblocks, one of the first roadblocks of Dark Souls. Like once you get past this boss, you're probably good for the rest of the game. And of course, there's one more, you know, giant roadblock that comes up after that. But yeah, I put the Bell Gargoyles in A because I've never thought of it as a bullshit fight. I mean, it's two boss fights are always really fucking annoying, and I think Elden Ring has demonstrated that, you know, fully, because there's so many of them, and a lot of them are just really frustrating. But this one I always thought was pretty fair. What's next? The Moonlight Butterfly. I'm going to tell you right now, he goes into the D tier, because the Moonlight Butterfly is just, if you're not playing a class that has, like, magic, like something, or you know, like a bow at least, then it's a very frustrating boss. You know, it shoots shit at you, and it does a lot of damage, and then you gotta, like, wait for it to come down so you can hit it, and then whilst it's perching onto the wall, it's like eating like moss or something, so it's getting health back. So usually I just fucking, when I get up to this fight, I summon Witch Beatrice, and she just like 3-shots it, and then I move on with my life. This fight has never ever been enjoyable for me, and I imagine the Moonlight Butterfly that you fight in the crystal cave or whatever the hell it is even more frustrating. I haven't even bothered attempting that. And the thing is, I I've been planning on doing a magic, like a sorcery run in Dark Souls 1. And you have to kill, I'm pretty sure you have to kill that one in the cave to get like the blue Titanite slab or something, or Titanite chunks or something. So like, this would be fucking hell on earth. Like, holy shit. I mean, I guess when you get to that point, you probably have more tools, available. So to dispose of this thing, but like, ugh. Fucking, it goes in the D tier because it's annoying and I don't like it. I know what you fight after the butterfly. I mean, I usually go down. Oh, you already go to the depths, so Capra Demon would be up next. This is a very swingy one for me. This one has always been like, you either love. I guess no one loves the Capra Demon, but like, you either have no trouble with the Capra Demon or you've died about 1,000 times to it. And I think when we've all first started playing Dark Souls, the Capra Demon was a huge roadblock because they called the arena the shoebox because it is tiny. Like, there's 2 dogs and this fucking thing. And I think 9 times out of 10, whenever you go into the arena, he does that leap attack that flattens you. And sometimes you're dead within like 5 seconds. Like, he doesn't fuck around. So, but the fight is like, I don't know, it's a very tactical sort of fight, I guess. Like, you need like clear strategy. Like, you got to be like, oh, I'm gonna run up the stairs and then plunge attack these dogs, or you could, you try to separate the dogs first and go, kill them and then go after the Capra Demon. Because the Capra Demon by himself is pretty pathetic, honestly. It's just the initial shock of going into the arena and getting, ganked by 3 enemies. So if I'm not mistaken, the Capra Demon is the only... actually it isn't. I was going to say the Capra Demon's the only boss in the game that has ads, but the Neato does as well. And technically Thief can as well, because those weird clam things can walk through like the fog and attack you. But yeah. I don't even know where to put this dude. I'll probably put it in B. I've never found him to be particularly frustrating myself. I mean, there's probably lots of people who put him in the D tier just because depending on what class you're playing, it can be a lot harder. I imagine if you're playing like a sorcerer, the Capra Demon's probably a fucking nightmare. Or more so difficult, at least. But, yeah, I've never really had much problem with him. And again, it's the same thing with the Taurus Demon, that later on you fight about 1 million of them. And they're not that hard to deal with, so, yeah. Next up, there's Gaping Dragon, I guess. Where the hell's that? Gaping Dragon, I'd probably give the Gaping Dragon an A. Straight up, because, I mean, look at the design. There's like, I've never seen a monstrosity like this before, ever. Like, this is straight from, like, HP Lovecraft fucking shit. Like, the Gaping Dragon is just... I saw that, like, boss for the first time, in my first playthrough. I was like, oh, there's a little head poking out. And then all of a sudden, this fucking gaping maw comes out of the fucking water. And it's like, holy shit. It's quite a tough boss for the time you fight it, if that makes any sense. The health of the boss is, like, far surpasses anything else you've come across at this point in the game. And the thing is, it's like, if you get the master key, you can just dodge this boss. This boss is optional for most playthroughs if you have the master key. But I'm a bit of a completionist, and I go through every boss. Plus, this guy drops a lot of souls, and he's not particularly hard either. Like, he does have a lot of HP, but he doesn't have many attacks, and they're all very easily telegraphed. Like, you know what he's gonna do, and like way before he does it. So. But just his appearance, the arena is nice and big, so you got room to maneuver. Like, if the arena was a lot smaller, this thing would be a fucking nightmare. It would be absolute dog shit to fight. So, that's why he goes into A, because, yeah, I don't know, like, plus you fight a dragon pretty early. I guess technically he's not a dragon, because, dragons are probably way bigger than him. But yeah, he's a nice guy to fight. I like him. Alright, so now we're heading into Blight Town, and we've got Quelaag. Chaos Witch Quelaag. Again, she's honestly like, I've had some difficulties with her depending on what you do. Like she has that one attack, that one explosion attack that seems to one shot every character at that point in the game. And to me, it's not easily telegraphed either. Like, usually I know she's doing it when it's too late, and then I end up dead. And it's very frustrating when she decides to just spew magma all over the arena, so you don't have many places to stand. But she's still quite enjoyable to fight, plus tits. the top half is pretty good, the bottom half not so much. I'd probably put her in A. I'll put her in A. She's not bad. I've never really had frustration fighting her. I mean, sometimes I will summon Man-Eater Mildred to help. She does make things a lot easier. But most of the time, she's not a big hassle for me. So I'll put her in A. Plus, it's a cool boss design, you know, the whole ugly creature with a beautiful woman on the top. I don't know. Alright, so we're at a Blight Town. So I guess the next boss would be... Let's do Stray Demon, because, I mean, you can do Stray Demon at fucking any point in the game, really. Stray Demon, I mean, this is the second version of the Asylum Demon, and it's a lot tougher, depending on what time you fight him in the game. It can be really tough. It's one of those bosses where, like, if you decide to fight it early, one mistake will cost you your life. Its attacks do ridiculous amounts of damage. Like, they clobber you. And yeah, it has those magic attacks specifically, like the ones where it, you know, goes up into the air and goes boom, it goes that, and then it has the ranged one, which is such a pain in the ass to avoid until you find out that you're supposed to run forward instead of backwards. That's what catches you off. But once you learn all of its attacks, it's not so bad to fight. It has a pretty chunky health bar, but like, again, it's got the same thing as Gaping Dragon, where like all of its attacks can be sort of easily dodged once you know what the tells are. Plus, it drops a Titanite slab, which is really fucking nice. I mean, you're not going to use it until probably near the end of the game, but it is still nice to have. So I'll whack it in a B. That's what I'm going to do. Just for the reward. I'll probably put it in C if it didn't give you a Titanite slab, but since the reward is so great, I'll put it in a B. What else have we got? I guess the Iron Golem would be up next. The Iron Golem, I mean, to me, it's more of a set piece sort of boss fight. Like, yeah, it can pick you up and, you know, throw you off the fortress. But, again, it's never really been a fight that I've had much issue with. Like, because usually you can just knock it on its ass and then it will just lay down and you just, you know, cop it. It'll take it until it's dead. Like, it's not really much of a... But you know, seeing it fly off the fucking... the building, if you're hitting it with, like, a colossal weapon, is pretty fucking hilarious. I'll say that. So, I'll put it in C. It would go in D if it weren't for the entertainment value of just seeing it fly off the fucking building. Like, you never really see any other Dark Souls boss do that. What else have we got? So, I guess I'll do Sif, because Sif you can technically do at any point in the game as well. Great Grey Wolf Sif. It's one of the rare times in Dark Souls where you actually feel bad for beating a boss, because it's not fighting you just cause, it's fighting you for a reason. It's actually, and it's even worse if you do the Artorias of the Abyss DLC and then go to fight him, because then he recognizes you and he sort of like, he doesn't want to fight you because he recognizes you, he knows who you are. So like, it just makes it even more painful having to kill him. Plus, you know, it has that thing where, you know, it gets down to like 10% health And then it starts limping and all its attacks are like really pathetic, and it's just like, oh my god, like they make you feel so guilty for killing them. But and the thing is, like, there's so many bosses in this game you do not need to kill. Like you do not need to kill a lot of these in order to, you know, progress. But this is one of the bosses you need to kill in order to progress. You cannot get the Covenant of Artorias without killing Sif, which fucking sucks. So I'm gonna put it in S because it is such a, like, to me this is one of the most iconic Dark Souls boss fights. Like the music, the setting, just the fact that it's a giant fucking dog, a wolf, whatever. It's sad. I'm upset. I don't like it. S tier. Okay. So we got the big bad of Ornstein and Smoke. I mean, we put it in S tier. This is probably, when you think of Dark Souls, that's the boss you think of. That's the boss you think of immediately. That's what comes to mind for me. Ornstein and Smoke. This is the true roadblock of Dark Souls. Like, many people have gotten up to Ornstein and Smoke and have never beaten them, and they've quit Dark Souls because of it. Like, it's a shame because the reward you get for beating them is so great. It makes the game a lot more easier to get through. Like, I do appreciate Dark Souls for its, you know, shortcut porn and having to walk around everywhere and, you know, having all the places, a lot of the places to be connected together. But like, that bonfire warp is much appreciated. Like, that's huge, especially near the end of the game where you're going to be going, you know, zipping around back and forth places all the time. But I mean, the music is amazing. Your fucking heart goes a mile a minute when you're playing this fucking game versing these guys. Like, oh, it's huge. And then, as I said, the reward, you get the basin, the Lord Vessel, and then you get to see Tits McGee behind the door. Like, everything about this boss is great. It can be frustrating, and I mean, you have some options. If you do have trouble, you can summon Solaire to help you. 2 bros against 2 bros. It's getting awful broy in here, and it's an S. It's a definite S. I just realised I've left Pinwheel here. Pinwheel. I mean, what can you say about Pinwheel? Like, to me, it seems like the boss doesn't match the area. To me, like, you can go to the catacombs at the very start of the game, but why would you? Like, the skeletons are a pain in the ass. You probably get killed in 2 hits when you're down there, and like, but like the boss is just so easy. Like, cause I tend to leave him up until probably like halfway through the game, and at that point he's a fucking joke. Like, has anyone ever been killed by Pinwheel? Ever? Like, the game should just fucking uninstall on your computer or your console once you get beaten by him, because that's like, your Dark Souls card is revoked. I mean, I can understand if you fight him early, but later on it's like, ugh. I'd probably put him in a C because the boss design is really cool. I like the fact that it's like, it's 3 people, like, it's like, you know, a guy with, you know, his wife and child, you know, on top of him, and there's the masks are cool. The boss fight is just eerie, plus the fact that it took me way too long to realize this, but you fight him in a giant fucking coffin. Like, I didn't even realize until probably 3 or 4 years after I first beat Dark Souls that you fight him in a giant fucking coffin. Like, that in itself is pretty cool, honestly. You know, I'm bumping him up to a B. Fuck it. He gives you the Rite of Kindling. He gives you one of the masks. I mean, how much of a joy is it when you get the fucking the dad mask? Like, that's huge. Giant dad. We all know that meme. Yeah. So what else have we got? Ceaseless Discharge. I guess I'll get him out of the way. I mean, I've only legit fought Ceaseless Discharge once because, I mean, let's be honest, he's a bit of a pain to fight. He does those big fucking lava and fire attacks that just encompass like half the arena, and most of the time you get killed in 1 hit. So he's a bit of a pain to fight. But his design is absolutely grotesque. And, you know, he does have that, I don't know if it's a glitch or if they meant to leave that in the game. I'm assuming they meant to leave it in because they haven't taken it out. Where, you know, he does the big leap attack and then he hangs on to the ledge, and if you smack his arm long enough, he'll fall off and die instantly. So I guess they meant to leave that in. But I'll give him a C. He'd have a D if his design wasn't so good. But yeah. Plus you get the robes, the armor set. That's pretty cool for how much it weighs. What else have we got? So now we're getting up to the Lord Shards. What else? I'll leave the Lord Shards till last, actually. So we've got the Demon Fire Sage. I mean, this goes into the D for me. The Demon Fire Sage is basically a fire version of the Stray Demon. Yeah, I mean, what else can you fucking say? I mean, you get the Isolov Catalyst from him, which I don't even know if it's any good, to be honest. I don't hear many people talking about it when it comes to, like, you know, sorcerer builds and stuff like that. So I don't think it's any good, but just the fact that it's a third copy of a boss, or a second copy, I guess, it goes into the D automatically. What else have we got? We got Crossbreed Priscilla. I'll put it in B tier. I mean, I don't have much to say about the boss fight because, I mean, Crossbreed Priscilla is probably one of the least memorable boss fights for me because a lot of the time, because I haven't done it very much because I think I've only killed her maybe once or twice, and B, a lot of the time she's just invisible. I mean, a lot of people are going to be like, it's my waifu, but it's like, come on, it's the video game character. Get your head out of your butt. But, yeah, no, I mean, if you do kill her, her soul can be turned into a really nice weapon. What the hell is it called? The something scythe. I can't remember what the hell it's called, but it can bleed enemies in like 2 hits, but it also gives you bleed build up on yourself. I'm pretty sure the life hunt scythe. That's what it's called. I remember using that in one of my playthroughs, and it was like, whoo, you know, it was sick. I mean, the scythes in that game are overpowered for sure, but I guess that's what separates her from me giving her a C to a B. If she didn't give such a great soul, I'd probably put her in C because I honestly think there's nothing very spectacular about her. But yeah, she's okay. What else have we got? We've got the Centipede Demon. Probably I'd give him a C. I mean, I honestly think that a lot of the Lost Islip in general is very average to below average. You can tell that it was rushed. It was one of the rushed areas of the game because, I mean, most of the enemies are like copy and pasted Taurus and Capra demons, which isn't very fun. And the whole place is it's huge, but it's empty at the same time. Like, and you got the dragon butts walking around. The dragon butts are not fun. There's not even any point trying to kill them because they just suck. Like, they do a lot of damage too, from what I remember. I do like I like the design of the Centipede Demon. The thing is fucking horrific and grotesque. But the arena you fight it in is just fucking shocking. I mean, I know the idea of the Centipede Demon is to lop off one of its arms or legs or whatever, and then it drops the charred ring so you can walk on the lava, so the fight's a bit more tolerable, but it's just still a giant pain in the ass, and I've never really enjoyed the fight against this thing. So I would put it in D, but I like the design of it. I like how it looks. It's horrific and I love it. So I'll put it in the C. That's average for me. Alright, what else have we got? We've got Dark Sun Gwendolyn. I'll put it in D. Dark Sun Gwendolyn is not a great boss fight. I can appreciate the lore behind Gwendolyn and all that, but you're basically running down an infinite corridor, dodging projectiles that do 1 billion damage. And then once you get to the end, you just beat the shit out of him or her. I don't know. Which one is it? Who knows? He has a really weird design too, like the snakes, like the tentacles from underneath, the robe. I don't know what the hell's going on. Again, it's a fight that I've never really done a lot, just mainly because it's frustrating. But it's like, if you want to be a completionist, you got to do it. So, and I always feel bad, hucking something at the booby lady, because she's a nice lady. And I always feel really bad, I'm always like, oh, fuck, Analondo's at nighttime now, everything sucks. So, yeah, D. Get the D tier. Sorry, everybody. Okay. Actually, we'll leave the DLC bosses for last, because, we're going in order here. So, let's get to the Lord Shards. Alright, so... Bed of Chaos, D. Bed of Chaos gets a big fucking D, because... I think everyone who's played Dark Souls hates the fucking Bed of Chaos. Like, there can't be anyone out there who goes, that's a good boss fight, because it fucking isn't. It really isn't. The Bed of Chaos sucks dick. It's frustrating. It's one of the most probably counterintuitive fucking boss fights in Dark Souls ever. Soulsborne even. It's just annoying. Like, it's basically an interactive level. Like, it sucks. Like, and plus, like, it might get pushed into a C if the run to it wasn't so bad. And even more so if you don't find that hidden bonfire in Lost Isolith. Because that's a long run. You can just run past everything, but it's consuming time. That's the point. Like, if the bonfire was right next to the boss arena, I probably wouldn't shake two shits at this boss. But since it's like, it makes you go through that extra effort, like wasting like 2 or 3 minutes, it fucking sucks. And I'm glad they haven't really done anything like this since. It is an atrocious fucking boss. So it goes, I was hoping there'd be an E tier here, because this is probably the only boss that'd be in the E tier. But yeah, that's what I think. Alright, we got Seeth the Scaleless next. I've never had a particular problem with Seeth. Being cursed is pretty annoying, but like, you have quite a bit of time to get out of the curse crystals and stuff. Plus, just killing this fucker is just satisfying in itself. Yeah, but you can get the Moonlight sword from him, which is one of the most coolest weapons in the Soulsborne series. Plus, it seems to like jump from universe to universe. Like, it's in pretty much every game. Even Sekiro. The Divine Dragon has like a sword that's very similar to it. And the fact that it also has a very sort of weird mechanic in it where you have to like attack the crystal that's behind him, and it's never been I feel like it's supposed to have been like a more harder than it actually is. Like, you're supposed to put up a really big fight and stop you from, attacking his crystal, but at this point it's like a formality. It's like fucking like it takes up like 5 seconds of your time, and then it becomes a proper boss fight. It's weird that they threw that in. I guess it's for lore reasons, since he is immortal as long as the crystal is there. But I've always found that to be sort of like a throwaway part of the fight. But I'll put him in B because it's just satisfying to kill the prick. Why would you betray your own kind, you fuck? Alright, next up we got Neato. Again, Neato... Neato's a really weird boss fight because he has ads. Like, he has, 3 skeleton goons, yet he's the one that blows them up half the time. Like, it feels like the boss fight can be really annoying, but Neato himself sort of eliminates the problem. And the skeletons do come back, but in that time whilst they're down, you can usually get quite a few hits in. So the skeletons are almost like a non-issue. But for how cool he looks, his attacks are pretty disappointing. I feel like he could have done a lot more. They could have done a lot more with him. but he might have been like a victim of you know, the game's rushed sort of schedule, I guess. I don't know. But he is the Rave Lord, so I'm not going to put him in D. I'll put him in C. Yeah, he deserves a lot more, but I just can't really push him up anymore. All right, next we got the last of the Lord Shards. We've got the Four Kings. And again, the Four Kings, it should be a fight that's really frustrating, but it isn't. And it's sort of like a benchmark boss fight where, like, you know, your build is up to snuff if you can beat this guy, because it's a DPS race. It's, if you don't do enough damage, you're gonna get overwhelmed by 4, sometimes 5 kings. For some reason, there's a 5th one. Yeah, like he's huge. Like this boss fight's great. You're in the infinite blackness of the abyss. It's kind of creepy seeing them come from like halfway across the arena just to, you know, fuck your shit up. There's nothing really particularly annoying about the Four Kings. It's a cool thematic like boss fight. Yeah, I mean, what else can I say? I'm gonna whack him up into the A tier. Fuck it. Probably my favorite Lord Shard to do. I mean, New Londo is it's probably one of my favorite areas in Dark Souls, to be honest, because it's got a really spooky ambiance. Like, it's really fucking like, when the water gets all drained, you can see all the dead bodies on the bottom, and the dark wraiths start coming out. It's like, holy shit, like, this area just gives off an impression of, I really fucking shouldn't be here. Like, it's spooky, and the boss goes along with it. Now, I guess we'll get Gwen out of the way. I mean, Gwen, he's not a particularly difficult boss. I do really like his moveset, though. I like how he can juggle you into the air like it's a fucking fighting game. But again, he has the severe weakness of being incredibly parryable. Is parryable even a fucking word? You can parry him to death. Every attack can be parried, and it's just like, that's his massive downfall. So he's definitely not the most difficult last boss, but just the arena, the music in this fucking boss fight is just like, you feel hollow after beating him. Like, you know how you beat a game and you go, oh, finally, you know, I've beaten this fucking thing. Especially a game like Dark Souls that's giving you shit at every turn. You get to Gwen and like, your victory is absolutely hollow. Like, the fight is just sad. It's a sad old man fight, which is like a lot of fights in From Software games. For some reason, they're just like that. But he is Gwen. He is the Lord of Cinder. He's the big boss. So I'll give him an S. You know, I'll give him an S. I think it's only fair. Now we're getting to the DLC bosses. The DLC bosses. So we get the Sanctuary Guardian. This thing's a pain in the ass to fight. It moves around a lot. It shoots lightning, and it has, and just to fucking annoy you even more, it has a toxic attack with for some reason it has a scorpion tail. I don't know why. You can get the scorpion tail as a weapon if you chop it off. I'm not sure if it is a good weapon, but it's, you know, it's the novelty of it. I don't like fights where you have to run after the enemy whilst they're shooting shit at you. That shit is just annoying no matter what. I mean, we're going back to like the Moonlight Butterfly boss fight, but this is like probably 5 times harder, easily. I guess they do serve as like a gateway into the DLC. Like, if you can't beat these guys, then you probably won't be able to beat, you know, the rest of the DLC. But I mean, I can appreciate what it does. It is annoying, but it is an exhilarating fight. It's like the Moonlight Butterfly where you're just sort of waiting for it to come down like a fucking idiot. So I'll put it in C. You get the C from me. Alright, now next we have, you're probably going to fight Artorias next. Artorias goes in my S, for sure. It's a hard fight. It's troublesome. He almost fights like a player in PvP. Yeah, it's Artorias. It's probably one of the most popular Dark Souls characters other than Solaire, When you think of hero, you think of Artorias, even in this form. Like, the fact that he's fighting you with his bad arm just goes to show how powerful this fucker is. He slapped my shit in the first time I fought him. Like, I probably died to him maybe 15, 20 times. Like, this guy is no joke. Plus the fact that he sacrificed his shield to protect his papa is just, that puts him in the S tier. It's very fitting that Sif and Artorias are S tiers on my list. So, like, he is the big boy. Like, this guy could beat Gwen. I'm pretty sure there are videos out there of him fighting Gwen, and he does fight. He does beat him, I think. Or does Gwen beat him? I don't even fucking remember. But, you know, it's a pretty even competition. So, he gets an S. Alright, now we've gotten to Calamite. And this is one of the more epic dragon fights in the series, I think. He can be a giant pain in the ass. But not for 1 second did I ever think the Calamite was unfair. I think when people think of the best dragon fight, most people go to, like, Midir in Dark Souls 3. And that is an epic fight, but again, it's borders on frustration, because Midir has just so much goddamn health. It's like a war of attrition. Like, it's not like the damage doesn't kill you, it's your impatience. Like, you gotta have patience. But I think Calamite strikes a balance between those two things. Like, you can womp on him, you know, he has less health than Midir, but he is definitely a force to be reckoned with, and like, you can appreciate, you know, I'm pretty sure he is one of the most powerful dragons in the lore. I mean, Midir is definitely #1, but like, Calamite is, I mean, his name is Calamity, like, it's fucking, he is Calamity. So he gets an A for me. He's not quite an S because, you know, look like I dabbed. But yeah, now we get to the last big boy on the list. We got Manus, the Father of the Abyss. And while he is incredibly frustrating to fight, you do feel a massive sense of accomplishment fighting this fucker. When you finally beat him, you really do feel like you're in hell fighting this guy. His attacks feel... I feel like he'd be a C tier if you don't get that pendant that reflects all the Abyss attacks, because that really does make the fight near impossible. But just, I can appreciate how aggressive this dude is. Like, no wonder the Abyss took over everything, because this guy is just so fucking powerful. Plus, you know, he bought all these children, you know, all the Dark Souls 2 DLC is basically... Dark Souls 2 itself is basically a story about all of his children, which is pretty chad, if you ask me. Children of the Abyss, I mean, that sounds pretty cool. I'm going to call my metal band that. But, he's frustrating the fight. He's definitely... He's a lot harder than Gwen, in my opinion. I mean, the fact that you can't really parry him just puts him over the top for sure. And he looks like an absolute monstrosity. I mean, just looking at the photo they've got of him here, he looks monstrous. He's grotesque. He's definitely from the Abyss. He gets an S. So, yeah, there you have it. The list is pretty... It's actually a lot more evenly rounded than I thought it would be. I thought there'd be a lot more things in like the B or C tier, but there's actually quite a few S and A tiers. And I've, yeah, I don't know. But I'm pretty happy. I think I'm pretty happy with how the list is. I don't think I'd change anything. Maybe I'd put Asylum Demon down to C, but yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty happy with how it is. So let me know what you think about this list in the comments. Let me know where I went wrong. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people mad at me because I put Crossbreed Priscilla in B instead of A or S, but you can blow me. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'm quite curious. And thank you guys for watching. I'm going to be doing more of these tier lists if you enjoy them. I enjoy talking about my experiences in Soul games, because it's sort of like reminiscing, It's like, I haven't really played many of the Dark Souls games in a long time, actually. I mean, I've been playing Elden Ring, so maybe it's high time I do my Dark Souls playthrough on my channel. Who knows? But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Cheers.